Welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 4 reasons why you have absolutely nothing to worry about, nothing to stress about when it comes to the pesky shenanigans of black magicians. Nothing to worry about, nothing to fear. With the proper information, you can set your mind at ease. For those of you who are new to my channel, hi, my name is Anya Light. This channel is all about spiritual awakening and empowering ourselves through mystical healing arts. So welcome in. All right, let's dive right in. So the first reason why you have absolutely nothing to fear from these silly black magicians, you have nothing to fear from black magic, is this. In this moment, you're watching this video and you are at a chapter in your journey where I can guarantee you are experiencing a tremendous amount of spiritual growth. Your soul is evolving, my friend, rapidly, fast. It's a time of quick spiritual evolution. So while it might seem like, oh, this is such an annoying situation, I'm confused by the situation, I'm stressed, I'm worried, I'm fearful, whatever you might be feeling right now, it might seem like a bad thing. However, please let me give you the encouraging words that are 100% true because I've gone through this, that this awakening that you're going through right now is simply a part of the journey and you're going in a really good direction, my friend. So this chapter, and we all go through these kinds of things multiple times on our spiritual journey. If I had a nickel for every time I encountered a black magician on the path, I would have some serious dough. Unfortunately, these things are common, but in the beginning, when we're first starting to try to figure out what's happening to me, what's going on, how should I deal with this situation, when it's kind of a brand new kind of a thing, hence why you're watching this video, or maybe a particularly confusing scenario with the black magician has come up. Maybe you've dealt with this kind of thing in the past before, maybe even for many years, but this new situation that's in your life is particularly triggering or fearful for some reason. Anyway, this chapter that you're in right now, basically what it signifies is that you're going through massive spiritual upgrades, massive awakening. So while it may seem on the surface bad, it's actually a sign that you're growing. It's actually a sign of progress. So I'm happy for you. So let's continue. Number 2, the second reason why you shouldn't worry, shouldn't stress out about black magicians is, as I mentioned in the title, they're pathetic. They're pathetic. They're pathetic. And when we can step into our own power, our own beautiful colors and ways of being, and let go of the fear, we step into our empowerment. So here's the thing. So, first of all, light is always more powerful than darkness. That's an important thing to know. So anybody who dabbles in black magic, or anyone who even does it professionally, there's professional black magicians out there. They get paid to do nasty, energetic stuff to other people, or at least try to do stuff to other people. You're protected, as I mentioned. But anytime that we think about someone like that, a good thing to do is actually to send them a little bit of compassion, light, or love, because they're operating in the darkness. They're in league, hand in hand with the devil energy, with Satan energy, with the dark energy, whatever you want to call it. It's not really important what we call it, whether we call it Satan or the devil or whatever. Like, those words don't have a super lot of meaning, but it's just the idea that those people are in league with the side that's never going to win in the long term. So how I came to realize this was, oh goodness, so this was about maybe 13-ish years ago. I was brand new in my Reiki healing practice, seeing clients, teaching students. It was all very new to me, all very exciting. I get a phone call from a a new person I never heard of. And she said, my sister is going through a terrible time. I believe, if memory serves me, it was her brother-in-law who lived in Africa at the time. And this lady's sister was living close by to where we all lived in Ohio. She said, even though my sister's brother-in-law lives in Africa, he's sending her voodoo. He's sending her black magic. He's putting curses and bad spells on her, and her life is a wreck. She's freaked out. Her life is going horrible right now. And can you see my sister to give her Reiki healing and break the curses? Now, at the time, when I was talking to this woman, I had absolutely no formal training in this whatsoever. But there was something inside of me that said, you know how to do this. You know how to help. And that stemmed from many past lifetimes of doing this mystical healing work. So I just trusted that inner voice of intuition. And I said, all right, I will do my best. I will do my best to help your sister, bring her to me for a Reiki session. So she did. So the two women came in, we worked together. And what I learned through assisting these two women, actually, because they were both in a state of fear, helping them break out of that fear, was the big realization of, oh, this is not about them placing their faith or hope in me to fix them or to fix the situation. What my job was in that scenario was to empower both of these beautiful divine goddesses to realize how strong they already were. Basically, my job was to make them see how the brother-in-law who was sending voodoo, black magic, was actually quite a pathetic character. And so just talking to them, helping them realize that, giving them some practical tools for meditation, energy healing, things like that, they left the session with me smiling, laughing. And when they arrived, they were in a totally different energy by the time they left my home. So that was the beginning of my journey, realizing, oh, like the power is not in the hands of these black magicians. They're actually, in time, we can learn to have compassion and feel empathy and send them healing because they're the ones that need it the most. So ironically, the people who are who are the seeming targets of black magicians are not actually the ones who are in the most difficult of situations. The ones who are in the most difficult of situations are the black magicians themselves. They're in a really bad spot in life where they have lost their way. They have lost their way of love. They've lost their way to love, with love, of love. They forget that they are love. So they're actually really pathetic. So it's important to remember that whenever we encounter a situation like this. So the third reason why you shouldn't stress, you shouldn't worry at all about black magicians is this. So like in my story I just told, this woman, the woman who is receiving the black magic, her brother-in-law lived far away, thousands of miles away in Africa. But what happens if a black magician literally lives like right down the street, or the black magician is heavily involved perhaps in the leadership of a spiritual or religious community that you participate in? What the heck do you do in that scenario, right? Or maybe this black magician is a part of your friend group. What do you do? Or maybe they're even, worst case scenario, in your family and they live very close to you, physically live close to you. What do you do? Again, there's no need to worry. And when you realize this, you just start to feel a lot lighter and better. All you have to do, my friend, is walk away. That's really the big thing. So if the black magician is living close to you, in your friend circle, in your church, a member of your mosque, walk away. So that's the main thing. Walk away. And you don't even need to tell anybody why. It might help for you to do that. Maybe you feel called to tell other people what's going on. But here's the thing, you don't necessarily have to do that. So I will give another story from my life. So I encountered a situation in my past where I was involved in a spiritual community, very deeply involved, and realized one of the leaders in that community was occasionally practicing black magic. I learned this from my meditation and my REIKI sessions. So I would go into these altered states of consciousness, more expanded, more awakened, loving, free, open states of awareness through my spiritual practices, different meditation techniques, etc. And I would get downloads, I would get visions. And what I would see is very clearly in my mind, this person doing nasty revenge kind of spells on people. And this was a person that was one of the major leaders within the spiritual community. And this was a person who was also teaching Reiki. Wow. So what happened for me is I was guided by my spirit guides not to make a big deal out of the visions that I was seeing. For my own, so what I'm trying to say is each situation is different, okay? So for me, I was guided to quietly walk away. Quietly walk away. I told a handful of people the full story, like literally a handful of people that I could count on one hand, trusted friends, because they were still involved in the community and I wanted to make them aware. But in this particular situation, this person who was doing the black magic did it super rarely and only when they were triggered, highly triggered. That person, the black magician, had a very difficult, horrendously terrible childhood full of suffering, abuse, and trauma. So occasionally when they would get super fearful, super triggered, the only thing that they knew how to do, how to handle the situation, was to sit down, grab their dagger, light the candles, and start sending dark spells against the people that were involved in whatever was triggering them. Then how I saw it in my vision is this person would then pop out of it. If you study Eckhart Tolle, for example, he talks about this concept of the pain body. It's when the darkness takes us over. It's when our triggers and trauma just literally takes over our brain and we just start acting in ways that we know are not in our highest good. But this person would get triggered, they'd get into their pain body, the darkness would take over, they'd sit down, and so that they could feel in control. It was a way for them to feel like they were in control. So I saw that, and I saw that it only happened rarely. Maybe I should use the word occasionally. It happened occasionally. So it wasn't like this person was like going around 24/7 casting black magic on people, like doing this kind of thing all the time. If it would have been that way, I would have publicly talked about it. I would have told everyone. But this person, they're still on their healing journey, and I do have high hopes that this person will heal and eventually stop doing that. I also have a very strong understanding that the people connected to this community, they know how to protect themselves. They know how to take care of themselves. So I figured, I really felt I was guided to just quietly walk away from the community. Why did I walk away? Because I could no longer, in good conscience, co-create with this person. I couldn't, because I knew what they were doing. And it just felt really wrong to me to continue co-creating with this person. So I just quietly, peacefully, lovingly walked away. I removed myself from the situation. So that's what I did. And I have no regrets. And I just energetically removed myself from this black magician. So if you're dealing with a situation, please know that there's no right or wrong way to handle it. But it's not necessary. It's not always necessary that you need to tell everyone, watch out for this black magician. Because here's the thing, and this is kind of ironic. The more that we stir up fear around black magicians, the more powerful they become. Right? Because black magic can only operate in the energy of fear. So if we have no fear, it's like, whatever, dude. Here's an example. So a little ant is crawling along the ground. Let's say it's a red ant, the kind that bite. the kind that sting, okay? So we see a red ant crawling along the ground. Let's say that we're in a very high vibrational state that day, and we're like, oh, it's a cute little red ant, and we don't feel any fear, okay? But let's say that we're having a day where we feel fear, and we're like, oh no, it's a red ant. And then let's say that the ant bites us, and it just equals this whole situation where now we're in fear and we're in physical pain too. It's kind of like that with black magicians. If we just view them as like, oh, there's a black magician, like, or we see, a wasp or a bumblebee, and we're just like, oh, hi, bumblebee, hi, wasp. I know you could sting me, but I'm not really afraid of you because you're just doing your thing. It's like that. It's like the black magician is just a part of nature. They happen to have a funky situation going on right now, like mosquitoes. Like, who really loves mosquitoes? Really, no, nobody. Unless maybe you're a scientist studying them or something. Maybe you love them. But most of us, we don't love them. But we don't walk around fearing them, because if we did, we'd never leave the house, right? So it's just a matter of putting things into perspective and remembering all we have to do is walk away. Cut the cords. Just remove yourself from their orbit as much as possible, and that's it. And also, yes, if your guides, if your spirit guides, if your intuition is telling you that you need to tell a lot of people about it for some reason, you should. And there's a lot of cases of spiritual leaders, religious leaders gone amok with power. And sometimes we do need to bring public attention to those people so that they can face the consequences of their actions. But sometimes it's just a matter of walking away, right? So it doesn't have to be this big thing. It's just like, okay, I'm walking away from the energy of this person, right? Okay. The fourth reason why there's nothing to worry about, there's no fear that you need to have with these people, is that karma does the job of balancing the scales. So another thing that happens that we can keep in mind is that anybody who consciously works with the darkness, they've got a heavy karmic load to deal with for themselves. Okay, how many lifetimes are they going to reincarnate before they learn their lesson to stop doing this kind of shenanigans? Sometimes as light workers, empaths, sensitive souls, we feel overwhelmed when we get a glimpse of someone doing some naughty stuff, whether we literally catch them in the act or whether they admit it to us or we overhear someone bragging about doing black magic, however we find out about the situation. And by the way, you can know that someone does black magic entirely like I did through meditative visions. You don't need proof. Sometimes you don't need to think about would this evidence hold up in court? No, this is a spiritual adventure that we're on here. Sometimes things aren't material in the way that regular legal courts would think of evidence. But however you found out, maybe you do have physical proof. Maybe you found a letter that this person wrote where they literally confessed to doing black magic. Or maybe you just have a hunch. You just know deep in your heart, okay, this person is up to some naughty stuff here. They're using energy in a way that is not of the light, okay? So you know it, right? Another part that might stress us out is how can I bring them to justice? And this is kind of an extension of the third point that I was making. How can I make sure that they're not doing this anymore? How can I stop them? And that thought, can cause some stress, okay? Because karma is karma. Cause and effect. So what we reap, we sow, whether in this lifetime or the next. So chances are the black magician that you're dealing with is already wading through tons and tons of karma, accumulated karma from previous lifetimes. Maybe they are just super in debt. Maybe they are dealing with an ex-husband or an ex-wife who's stalking them. These black magicians have a lot, what I'm trying to say, these black magicians have a lot of drama in their lives. And that's simply that karma coming back to bite them in the butt. So we don't necessarily need to put all this weight on our shoulders of how do I make sure that these people come to justice? The scales of justice of balance are a law in this universe that operates on its own. So you don't necessarily need to do anything. You just need to remember karma will pay this person back for what they're doing. And there's a difference, for example, let's say for a difference between someone who does black magic super occasionally, like the person I was mentioning earlier, and the person who literally does it as a profession. Like people come to them, pay them money, give them a picture of someone that they want to put a hex on, and then, the black magician does their naughty spells and they get paid for it. Okay, so there's levels, right? There's levels of black magicians. So I encourage you to just feel into, okay, is there any action that I need to take to help bring this person to justice? A lot of times, no. Again, going back to the third point, it's just sometimes a matter of walking away. Also, sometimes, we do need to do things. There is, lots of bad gurus, bad spiritual teachers out there who do a lot of nasty things beyond just black magic, who hurt people. And sometimes we are called to take action. In the past, I have definitely been in that position where I've had to speak out publicly about certain things, bring things to people's attention, but we don't always have to do that. So what I'm trying to say is the universe is calling you into your own intuition right now. How am I meant to step into this situation with more clarity, loving compassion in my heart, loving compassion for myself? Forgive yourself. If you've been stressed, freaked out, worried, fearful, forgive yourself. It's okay. I mean, this sort of thing is freaky. When you first hear about it, it's like, oh God, what? It's a little freaky. Okay, so have compassion for yourself. At the same time, understand that in the long run, you're being asked by the universe to cultivate compassion towards everyone. And that includes the silly, pathetic black magicians. What are they doing? What are they doing? They got this whole beautiful human life. Human life is a gift. And they're just wasting it. They're wasting it on the shenanigans. So it can be helpful to kind of also think of it as just think of it in your head in a bit of a playful, humorous light. That also helps to dissolve the fear energy. As a side note, sometimes when I wake up from a really bad nightmare in the night, you know what I do to heal myself and calm myself down is I retell the story in my mind, the story of the dream, and then I add funny details. So for example, if a wolf was chasing me and it was going to kill me, I wake up, my heart's pounding, I'm sweating, and then I just replay the dream in my head, but I add a clown's hat to the wolf. And then I imagine that the wolf is saying, would you like a cheeseburger? Or something ridiculous, something stupid and silly and weird. And then it makes me chuckle. And then the fear that I was feeling is diffused. So with the black magicians, we can do absolutely the same. And we can remember that karma always sets the scales to right. Okay, so if you have made it this far into the video, I'm so excited for you. I'm going to now share with you a practice that you can use to keep yourself safe. Now, in reality, you're always safe as long as you are tuned into your intuition and walking hand in hand with your spirit guides. We all have spirit guides. We all have angels. We all have heavenly protection. But this is a practice that you can do that magnifies that natural protection. So you're already protected, friend. If you're watching this video, you're already protected. If you're resonating with this message, I can guarantee you're already protected from the shenanigans of black magicians. However, if you want to increase your protection, here's what to do. Chant the holy names. What are the holy names? The names of beings who paved the way for us into enlightenment. The name of Christ, Jesus, whatever name you want to use, Christ, Jesus Christ, Buddha, Kali, Krishna, the name of God, the God Almighty, Allah, Jehovah, whatever sacred name of God, of the divine, of prophets, of angels, of messengers, Holy Mary, Mother Teresa, Archangel Gabriel. Names. Chant them. Say them in your mind as you go through your day, just as you go through your day. So my go-to name often is Hanuman, the monkey deity in Hinduism. So I just walk around my day, Hanuman, 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 Hanuman. I just say the name. The holy names are incredibly high vibrational. Now, if you've ever seen the movie like The Exorcist, for example, right? Scary movie. But you remember when the priest would say like, the power of Christ compels you. I'm pretty sure that, let me know in the comments below if I'm remembering that right, that that's from that movie, but I'm 99.9% sure that the priest, when he was trying to like exorcise the demon out of that little girl, he'd say like, the power of Christ compels you. Christ, the name Christ. In Hinduism, there is this idea that the name is as powerful as the person. And that's true. I found that to be true. So the name of Jesus is as powerful as Jesus himself, which is pretty amazing, right? If Jesus were to materialize in front of you, that would be equal in power as simply saying his name. Okay, so what does this have to do with keeping yourself safe? You just repeat that name and it raises your vibration. You can use as many names as you want, or just stick with one if that resonates best, just one name. Say the name over and over. And you can also say it out loud. You can make it into a song. Jesus, sweet Jesus, Jesus help me, Jesus come here, Jesus protect me. Make it into a song. There's a lot of ways you can do it. So repeating that mantra, those holy names, raises the vibration. It creates an energy field around you that protects you from anybody who's trying to do some lower vibrational stuff to you. It is the most powerful practice that I can share. And I'll say one more thing about the practice, which is this time period that we're living in, which is incredibly challenging. It's hard to be here at this time. Did you know that in the sacred Hindu scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam, for example, it says that the most powerful all practices that you could do at this time on earth is saying the holy names, chanting, singing the holy names. That it is literally the most powerful practice that we can do at this time on earth in the age of Kali. We're in the Kali Yuga, which is the hardest yuga. This is a hard yuga. But it is said that this is the most powerful practice that we can do. So chant the name of the divine over and over and over, aloud in your head, sing it, just infuse it into your consciousness. And that is an awesome boost to the protection that you already have, my friend. Okay, so those are the 4 reasons. Now, stay with me. So on the screen here, there's going to pop up a video, and I want to keep helping you. So I want to help you release any gradual or residual fear, worry, stress, any lingering anxiety that you might have with this guided meditation. So this guided meditation is super simple. It just takes 5 minutes, but it's designed to help you breathe and release and just step forward into your most empowered self of light and love. So I look forward to practicing with you in just a moment once you click that video. All right, I love you, friends. Namaste.